Well, hello and good morning and happy Thursday. We're on WGSN-DB, going solo network, radio, TV, and podcast number one, internet singles, talk network, your health vibes with Elena. And I'm your host. Hey, what do you know, Elena? Of your health vibes. My journey is to raise your heart, body, and soul vibes to the next level so you can transform your life today. And today I have the one, the only Liza Lomax. Come on down. Yeah. I am so excited for you to be
Yes,
here. And
ma'am.
our topic is self-loathing to self-loving with the one, as I said, the only, my soul sister, Liza. All right. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I just love so the reason we're laughing is because we started off and I didn't realize that we were live. So we were of course, chatting as we always do, and kind of got a little thrown off, but that's life. So I would love you to share with the world who you are,
Mhm.
what you do, and why we're so blessed to have you on this podcast today.
Who am I? Well, first of all, I am Liza Lomax, Liza with a Z, pronounced like Manelli. If you all know
Yeah.
who Liza Minnelli is, she's fabulous. Fun fact, I was actually named after her, and I did 15 years of theater. I do
Ooh,
sing
yes, she does.
and I dance.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's a little personal about me. I'm also a world traveler. I've been lived in over 11 countries in the last 4 years.
Amazing.
And yes, I even traveled during COVID. And I've been all over the place. And currently I am in Denmark. So it's like 6 p.m. here right now. So
So thank you for showing up.
yeah, you're welcome. Yes, yes. So who am I? What do I do? Okay, what do I do? So for all you overachievers, perfectionists, people pleasers, I know you're all out there and you're struggling to prioritize yourself. Yes, because we all do this. We all struggle to prioritize ourselves as people pleasers and perfectionists. I am a holistic success coach. So I get to help womenpreneurs, solopreneurs, coaches mend that mind body relationship, the connection, so that they can achieve success in all areas of their life and not just in their business. Them through mindset shifts, emotional eating support, self love practices. I guide them to break free of the spins of the poor health, the negative self image, the emotional eating. I take them from self loathing to self loving. Oh, here's the title of our show today. So,
How to
really,
be
when it
it.
comes down right, really, when it comes down to it, I help women look at themselves in the mirror naked and love with themselves.
Yes. Yes, that's what I like.
So that's
I
me.
love and what is it like and kind of maybe you can kind of tell like what inspired this? Where did your journey come from? I know there's so many things in life that, we go through and what happened, but what really struck your core to really put yourself out there to help others in this field?
Well, as a recovering perfectionist and people pleaser, and I was in the spins of emotional eating for 25 plus years. I struggled with toxicity, toxic relationships, drugs and alcohol, diet pills. I've done, by the ages of 14 to 25, did over 250 different diets. I've been 100 pounds and I've been over 300 pounds, and it never mattered where it was on the scale, no pun
Mhm.
intended. I was always unhappy with who I saw in the mirror. Yes, always unhappy with who I saw in the mirror. And so I knew that it had nothing to do with the weight. And being a perfectionist, being in the theater world, it's like you have to look and dress and say and act and do a certain way. And I was told growing up that I had to be successful. I had to achieve and do everything perfect. Everything.
Mhm.
Like I had to do this, I had to do this. You can't be successful if you don't do this. You have to be successful if you do this. So, and I literally was told that I was not good enough. Now, some of
Wow.
us don't, we're not told that consciously, but it's kind of, energetically, it's kind of thrown us, but I was actually told I'm not good enough.
Wow.
And so I had a lot of issues. Yes, I had, like what you said, eating disorders. I was addicted to diet pills. And by the time I was 26, I weighed over 300 pounds. So I went from one end of the spectrum to the other.
Mhm.
And the doctor told me that if I didn't lose weight, I was going to die.
Wow.
And at the time, I had a child, a young child. My child was, how old was he? Two, he was 2.5. And the doctor told me that if I didn't lose the weight, I wouldn't live to see him turn 5. And so,
Wow.
because I've been doing everything my entire life for other people, people
Mhm.
pleaser,
I
I said,
can
well, I'll
relate.
lose the weight for him. Yeah, I'll lose the weight for him. And so
Mhm.
I lost 105 pounds in about 13 months. However, I went back to the same habits, stories, behaviors, patterns, triggers, all the things. I went back to the same lifestyle and just literally hit a rock bottom like 4 or 5 years later. And
Mhm.
had this come to Jesus moment, had this, whether you believe in God, higher source, higher power, I had this booming voice tell me that if I don't change, I'm not going to be here any longer. And so I took that as, okay, this is my second chance to figure out what's really going on. And so I went
Right.
out and I did the things, I did the therapy, and I did the, I went to, read all the self-help books. And back then, self-help was kind of like, you were hiding in the Barnes and Noble in the corner, hoping nobody saw
Totally.
you. They think there's something wrong with you, right? Yes. Where now
100.
it's like celebrated, Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you
So I did all the things. Yep.
Oh, sorry. No, no, go ahead.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I
I
did
was
all the things, but it wasn't
Mhm.
until I realized that I was doing everything outside of myself. And I knew
Mm.
that the work had to be done inside. It's an inside out job always.
Can you
And
ex
it didn't matter where I was.
can you maybe explain a little bit more of like the inside out and kind of what people are seeing, sometimes surface of that? That would be really, you're so good about explaining that and kind of getting to the core of that. So maybe you could explain a little deeper on the difference of that.
Yes, yes. So we have been conditioned to go outside of ourselves for happiness, for fulfillment, to change something about ourselves. Majority of us are told us it's at one point or another, whether it's consciously or not consciously, unconsciously, that we're not good enough. Something has to change. And this usually
Mhm.
happens between the ages of 8 and 10, and
Oh,
especially in little girls. And
okay.
as women, we have been conditioned to be unpaid caregivers for the rest of our lives.
Mm, very
Yes,
strong.
we have
Yeah.
been conditioned to take care of everyone else in our life, and we go on the back burner. It's
Mhm.
selfish to take care of yourself. You don't do that. You have to take care of everybody else around you, which is
Right.
actually bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's the complete opposite.
100%.
And yes, so because of that, and then a lot of us we most people came from two different types of backgrounds. You either
Mhm.
came from a place of abundance or you came
Mhm.
from a place of lack or scarcity. If you came from a place of abundance, okay, so you already have the mindset that you're not good enough, so something has to change.
Right.
We live in such a huge food culture that food, like everything's food, food, food. We celebrate. So if you got a good grade on your report, oh, let's go get some ice cream. Oh, you broke with your boyfriend and girlfriend. Oh, let's go get some ice cream. So if you learn, if you're happy, you get ice cream. If you're sad, you get ice cream. Okay, so we have that. So it's
Right.
already started. It's already started this disordered relationship, this disordered
Yeah.
thinking. Okay, so scarce abundance. So if you came from a place of abundance, food was always available. You could have whatever you wanted, how much you wanted, anytime, all the time. So if you already had a disordered relationship and you already don't like your body and you
Yeah.
already got that toxic mindset going on, you ate. Yes.
That's,
Yes.
I mean, the visual too. I mean, it's, I'm not trying to be funny, but like that is very like to
Yes.
understand 100%.
Yeah. If you came from a place of lack or scarcity, which is where most people came from, okay?
Mhm.
If you came from
Yeah.
a lack of scarcity or place of lack, you didn't know where your next meal was going to come from. You had to get to the dinner table or didn't get any, or you had to sit at the dinner table and eat all your food because you were told somewhere in the world there were starving children.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know it's funny, but it's true.
No, it's true. I mean, I can think of so many parents and everybody like hearing that comment constantly and like that threat. And I think that was like a lot to threaten. So like, well, it's like, well, everybody's different. And I think forcing someone and making them believe something like that, it's like a little aggressive as well to get that mindset.
Yes, yes. So you sat at the dinner table and yes, or if you didn't eat your food, you were sent to your room. So you were punished. Now,
Yeah.
this is where eating disorders come into play.
Right.
Okay. So if you can
Yeah.
see the correlation, you're punished for not
Mhm.
eating. The only thing that you can control is not eating. You're sent to your room.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you learn negative
No
habits
dessert
about food
needed.
there. Yes, yes. And just to put a caveat out there, there is a fine line between disordered eating and an eating disorder. Okay. So
I
most
want
of
you
us have,
too as
yes,
well because I think people are very confused. So thank you for saying that because actually, we don't realize there is a difference and we sometimes try to categorize that. So sorry to cut you out. That was a really great topic to say as
yeah,
well to bring up.
yeah. So there's a fine line and there is a difference. So
Yeah.
most of us have a disordered relationship. So disordered meaning, again, you were told, hey, if you got an ARA card, oh, you get some ice cream. Oh, you broke up with a boyfriend, or oh, you got some ice cream. Or you did this. Oh, let's go celebrate. Let's go celebrate with
Mhm.
food. Or,
Yeah.
oh, no, we don't have that. You can't have that. We go to the grocery store or whatever. And mom says, no, you can't have that, or we can't afford that, or we can't get that, or whatever. So,
Yeah.
you took that as a form of punishment.
Right.
Now, when you're sent to your room, you know, then that is where it can escalate into an eating disorder. But that's kind of the trajectory as it
Yeah.
goes. So
Right.
all of us have some disordered relationship with food. We all do. We all turn to food to fill our bodies, to fuel
Mhm.
our bodies, so we
Yeah.
feel an emotion.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's wow. Can you say that again for me?
Yes, so we all fill our bodies we fuel our bodies to fill our bodies so we don't feel an emotion. Yes. Yes.
Wow, that's very powerful. I think to break
Yeah.
it down like that, people don't really realize and associate and the differences that people are experiencing. So thank you for really, explaining that because that's where I think people get confused. That's where people can't really show up for themselves because they're not really understanding what truly is going on.
Yes. And so how does food and negative mindset come into play? Well, very much so, because it's all connected. Like the mind, body, food connection is all connected. Because if you're already telling yourself you're not good enough story. Okay.
Right.
You're already taking on habits and beliefs and stories. You're already being conditioned a certain way growing up. And then if you're a woman or a girl, you're already, being told that you have to look and dress and say and act and do all these different ways. So there's your body. And
Mhm.
then you mix in the food, and everybody uses food for comfort, for stability. People, you use it to numb, cope, suppress, depress, down. I mean, we use food for everything, and food is the number one source we turn to combat our emotions. It's the number one most addictive thing that we have in our lives.
Wow.
Yet we need food for fuel.
Very true. Very true. So I feel like with that, maybe you can kind of, so we can kind of roll into, I would love for you to share, what do you have to promote for this beautiful thing that you're doing? I know that you have a program that I would love for you to share. I think, just first of all, Liza is just an amazing woman. Just really glad that we could connect. The way that she shares her stories, the way she shows up is so beautiful. And I really wanted her because she's organic, she's real, she's raw. You get what you get online and offline. And I just think the world of you. And I'm so glad that you're here to share in such a positive way and be such a positive influence. So I just had to get my little plug in.
Well, so yes, so I have, I do a lot of the work, I'll kind of scale back a little bit. So the majority of the people that come to me are the first want to lose weight. Okay. So it's really never about the weight. And we don't really learn this or grasp this concept. And most people don't grasp that concept until they've been coaching with me for a little while. And it's like a light bulb moment finally goes off. And so when I'm first initially talking to them, they say, hey, I want to lose weight. It's like, okay, let's have a conversation about that. So we have this conversation, and towards the end of that conversation, they realize that it has nothing to do with the weight. The weight is just a manifestation of what they're not wanting to deal with. Just like
Wow.
emotional eating, it's just a symptom of something underneath the surface that we don't want to deal with. Okay. Because we've been in the spins of this disordered relationship for so long, or we've been on the yo-yo diet train for so long, we've gone to the latest, greatest this and latest, greatest that, and we're always like, we have to, we want a quick fix, quick fix, quick fix, quick fix, which skews the cycle even more.
Right.
And so that's what most women are like, in order for me to be happy, I have to lose the weight. It's like, it has nothing to do with the weight. It has nothing ever to do with the weight. It has to do with what's going on in the inside.
And I think we always think it is for what we see, or, because it's the visual aspect of what you said is like, I think that's the outside of what someone sees. And what I love is like trusting the inside. So sorry, I just love that about you, that you share the real of it.
Yes. Yes. So in order to drop the weight, so when they do get into a program with me, that's what they want. They want to lose weight. It's like, okay, well, we'll lose weight. Let's do this.
Yeah.
In order to lose weight, when you're already in that mindset, you're already in that space, you have to. It is pivotal. It is crucial. It is so important. You have to work on the emotional baggage, the mental baggage, the spiritual baggage, because a lot of us were spiritually traumatized.
Yes.
Because religion never was thrown on us, and the psychological baggage that holds you down. Once you can release that baggage, the physical weight drops off.
Yes.
It
Wow.
will drop off if you take
Wow.
care of that. So that's the inside. Like, you got to take care of the inside. And so if they want to lose weight, okay, let's do that. This is what we're doing. This is how we do it. And a lot of us are intuitive. We're empathic. We are HSP, which is a highly sensitive person. Most of us are in that space.
Yeah.
There is a different, I shouldn't say most of us, I should say a lot of us are, if we choose to accept that about ourselves, if we choose to work on it. So because a lot of people are waking up and realizing, oh my gosh, I'm like an empath, like I'm feeling everybody's emotions, or I'm intuitive, like, oh my gosh, I'm totally sensitive around certain things. Yes. So that's where I'm getting at where my latest program is so people are drawn to me because they know that I'm an empath, they know that I'm intuitive, and so they're drawn to that. And so we work on that part too. And because you're in that space, food is even more of a challenge and a struggle.
Mm.
Because as an empath, we use food to pad ourselves, to protect ourselves from the energy coming at us. And so you'll notice a lot of people that are empaths in the woo-woo world, the spiritual world, are a little heavier set, are a little
Right.
bigger. Yes, because they're using food as a source to protect themselves. Okay,
Gotcha.
so it's a different horse when you're working with empaths and
Yeah.
intuitives.
Yeah, that really
I
is.
designed a program. I have a program called Intuitive Eating for Sensitive Souls. It's a healing journey, and it's an 8-week one-on-one course where we work one-on-one with each other, specifically eating for empaths and HSPs, so highly sensitive people.
I love it.
So, yes. So, and it's really establishing that foundation for understanding the connection between our eating habits and our emotional well-being. So there's some
Wait,
of the things that we do is like some of the things we do is identify emotional triggers. You learn how to nourish yourself as an empath. You learn mindfulness eating practices, different ones, intuitive eating practices for empaths. We talk about self-care and stress management. We talk about healing your relationship with food, integrating a lot of that stuff and then planning for how we move the future. And so this is just an 8-week course. I like to call my little 8-week courses appetizers
ooh,
because
I like
it's just a little appetizer of what coaching with me is like. Yes. Yeah. So it's just a little appetizer. Yes.
that. I love that. And how can they get in touch with you? How, how do you like, if someone wants to reach out, what is the best way to contact you? Do you do like a discovery call, to, kind of talk and see what someone's looking at as well?
So I am on every social media platform. You can
Yes.
Google my name and I'm sure a gazillion things come up. I've been on multiple podcasts. I think
Yeah.
I've been since 2020, I've been on over 200 different podcasts.
Incredible.
And that's a lot. Yeah, it is a lot. I'm an international speaker. I spoke all over the place, all over the world. I've got a YouTube channel, LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Pinterest. I'm on all the places. I also have a website. It's lizalomax.com. And I do always offer a discovery call. I always offer just a first initial conversation just to like talk and say, hey, where are you right now? Where
Yeah.
do you want to get to? And
Mhm.
then let's figure out the roadmap to get to where you want to get to. And it's just a genuine, like really, really raw, like just free flowing conversation. I just ask a few questions to make sure it's a fit, because I want to make sure it's a fit for you and it's a fit for me. Because
Mhm.
I I put I I I don't know about most coaches, but I really put a lot of myself into coaching with women because I've been there. I walk the talk literally. Like everything that I post on a daily basis, I have done, or
And
parts
I
of
wish
it
you were
I've
here.
gone through it.
Yeah, and
Yes.
that's what I really love about you, as I said, is that you show up authentically. I love how you're such an amazing storyteller because then people can relate. You're not just saying, here is this, blah, blah, blah. And that's why I feel like so many, like, please, like, reach out to Liza. She really is such a beautiful soul. She will really get to know you as an individual and show up as, I think too, you see their soul, and that's what's so beautiful. You really dig deep, and that's what I think makes you stand out. That's what I think is so special about you, is that you're not at that surface level. You can relate. You don't say, I know what I'm doing, because you just think you've been there, you've done that, you walk the walk, you talk the talk, and you show up.
Yeah. Yeah, and I will clearly admit that I do not know everything.
Yeah.
I do not. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and we are constantly learning and growing and evolving. And the wonderful thing that I love to do is I love to walk with that person through everything that they go through. I walk with them. I walk with them. I walk beside them. I walk behind them. I give them so much support and so much of myself because I know how much of a struggle it is. And you cannot do it on your own. You
Yeah.
need to have somebody hold you accountable, hold your hands, make you put your big people pants on, you know,
Yes.
call you out on your bullshit in a loving, supportive way, of course. But I will
Yes.
call you out. I will call that person out and I will say, hey, look, no, 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 we're not doing this because this is what you've got you to where you're at right now. And this is what's been continuing in your journey that hasn't got you anywhere. So we're going to stop this and we're going to do
I love
something different. Yes.
Really fast, I'd like to give a shout out to my fiance. Thank you, Tony. He says, good morning and great topic, ladies. So thank you for popping on, Tony. Appreciate that. And also what I love is that how real you are with someone, because I think so many times when we sign up, we sign up with someone and I don't always think that they're being truthful. And I think calling bullshit on that level, but you know what I mean? Is like calling someone out on their stuff. I think it's a good thing and not in that way. I think we need to be honest and need to be real and show up so that those patterns don't keep happening. So maybe could you share some like things that help that to prioritize, or talking to that 8 or 10-year-old little girl where things kind of start coming up, and really, what would you say to them, or even, nowadays, what would you tell some people to prioritize themselves?
Oh my goodness, that would be a whole other like hour of topics
Totally.
we could talk
Yes.
about.
I mean, we could talk
But
forever.
right, exactly. But let's see. Okay, so two things. So if a person, whoever's watching this, and you feel like your inner child is coming up, or something, you're triggered by something, or some emotion, or something is going on in your life, I want you to visualize who's driving the bus.
Mm.
Is it you driving the bus, or is it a younger version of yourself driving the bus? Is it
Oof.
your childhood self driving the bus, or is it your adult self? So if it is not you driving the bus, then you need to have a conversation with your little one and visualize it. You can visualize having a conversation. You sit them down, say, hey, I understand feeling this way right now. I appreciate how you are feeling right now. Okay, I give you permission to feel these emotions. Okay,
Mm.
I give you permission to experience this because you need to experience this right now. I give you full permission. I'm allowing this to happen. And
Wow.
this is not working anymore. And you know this. And so you don't even have your driver's license. So get in the back seat. I mean,
Yeah.
you could say it
Yeah.
nicely. I had to be a little comical there right there. 'Cause it's just me. I'm quirky.
I love
But really, like have that conversation to say, hey, you know what? It's okay. You had your time and you've done an amazing job. You've done a wonderful job taking care of us. And now it's time for me to take care of us.
Mm.
You know, I've
That
got a little bit more experience. I got a little bit more under my belt. Let me take care of this, okay? Is that okay? And ask their permission. Is that okay? More, less, you're gonna get an okay. Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Because they know that they cannot, and this is your smaller self. This is your little self. They know that it's not their time any longer. But you want to make sure you have that conversation with them, and just think about like who's driving the bus or who's driving the car, who's driving whatever it is, who's in the driver's seat. If it's not you in the driver's seat, then you need to have a conversation. So
Mm.
there's that, a takeaway that people can start doing.
Yeah.
So something that if some people are watching that know some of the talks that I've done, one of the talks I do is called Making the Mirror Your Friend. And one of the things that I talk about is going to the mirror every single morning and saying, I love you.
Mm.
Now, there are some people in other countries that they don't say I love you to themselves. So I say, okay, well, just think of something that you can say to yourself every single day. If it's an affirmation, if it's a something, whatever it is,
Right.
try I love you. Okay, try I love you. So go to the mirror every single morning. And for the next 5 days, I'm challenging everybody who's watching this right now. For the next 5 days, just do this for 5 days. Go to the mirror and say, I love you. And
Mm.
after those 5 days, just kind of like observe yourself. Like each day, kind of just pay attention to your body responds. what's going on? How is it feeling? You know, like, are you experiencing emotions? Are you thinking that's just as stupid? I don't want to do this anymore. I mean, just what is going on with yourself? And
Right.
then after the 5 days, like really evaluate, like, did this change anything for me? Did this shift, even the tiniest minute little changes shift? And then continue doing it, because science says that when you are attracted to someone or something, your
Mhm.
pupils dilate. If
Ooh.
you, yes, if you continue and with conscious intention to go to the mirror every single morning and say, I love you, and you start to notice your pupils dilate, that means you're overriding the fact that you don't love yourself. You're overriding that I don't love myself cycle because your
That's
pupils are dilating.
that's
Yes.
very powerful.
It is. It is. Now, that's my route. That's my way. Now, there's a ton of like Louise
Yes.
Hayes does mirror work. Mel Robbins does mirror work. Lisa Nichols does mirror work. We all do. There's so many coaches out there that do a form of mirror work, but I like to take it to the scientific perspective, because if you, that's like visible, like you can
Yeah,
visibly see if your
that's
pupils are
what.
dilating, you know that something is shifting in there. Yes.
Oh, I really like that way because you're right. There's so many ways, but once again, another beautiful factor that you go deeper above the surface, above what everybody else is doing, because everybody else could do mirror, but I really love that. Really stands out because that's visual. You're seeing it. You're actually seeing what's going on, opposed to just hearing it and whatnot. So
Yes. Yeah. And then just a quick little caveat too. If you do, this is like a third, this can be like a third little thing. Okay. If
yes.
you, if you, if you are doing affirmations and you're an affirmations person, or you're thinking about doing affirmations, or you're thinking affirmations is stupid, this is why. Okay. If you are not in the right headspace when you're saying these things to yourself, your bullshit detector is gonna go off. It's gonna say liar, 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 pants on fire. Seriously, it's gonna say that.
Yeah.
And and those affirmations will mean diddly squat. They won't mean
Right.
anything. So always, always make sure that your head is in check first before
Mhm.
you start saying anything to yourself. Anything positive, any affirmations, I love you, any of the things. Make sure that you're in the right headspace, or that detector will go off every single time.
So true. And sometimes if we're not in that space, do you have maybe one of your fun fact or something that someone can do to get out of that space to be present in that? You know, sometimes when we wake up or we do something, is there something that maybe that you could share that you really love? Like sometimes we're off and we're not in that headspace. Is there something that they can do to get to that headspace to feel like, yes, I can start the day or get out of, that kind of, monkey brain?
Yeah, yeah. So the first thing I do when I wake up every single morning is I rattle off as many things that I'm grateful for. I don't write them down. I don't journal them. I just rattle off as many things as I'm grateful for, to the pillow under my head, to the covers covering me, to the hot shower I get to take. The first thing before all that I do
Mhm.
is I say thank you. I say thank you, universe, for granting me another day on earth. Thank you for, you know, giving me life to breathe. Thank you for this body that I live in, because this body is our only home. This
Mm.
body is our home, and it's the only one we've got.
Yeah.
And it's in it if I don't know about you, but I don't want to be evicted from my home.
No,
I don't want to be
definitely.
separated from my home. No.
No.
And the best relationship and the most impactful, most wonderful, miraculous, the only true, real relationship you will ever have in your entire life is the one you have with yourself.
Mm.
Everyone
Yeah,
else comes second,
I
because
love
this is
that.
your home, your body. So
Mhm.
think about that every single morning, how much your body does for you, how many things you're grateful for. And when you start to kind of dip down a little bit, think of what you're grateful for, because quantum physics says if we can stay in a level of gratitude for at least 17 seconds, we can continue maintaining that level. And if we
Wow.
dip, it's okay, because we're human. We're a human being, or in these human bodies. It's okay. You're going to dip.
Right.
You're going to have pitfalls and stumbles. So just think of something that you're grateful for again. It could be one thing, like you're breathing, like you get
Right.
to walk, you can
Yeah.
take a shower, you can take a nap, like you're sitting at the computer. I get to have this wonderful conversation with Elena. Like, oh my gosh, like all these wonderful, grateful things, you know?
I love that because it's so simple. Like we think we have to overdo it. I think so many times, like it has to be these things. I think celebrating big, small, doing like what you said, just a simple how we talk to ourselves is something like as simple as it is. It doesn't have to be this whole extravagant plan that I think always think we need.
No, I just posted a reel today about how we speak to ourselves. The words we speak to ourselves has such a profound impact on how we show up every single day. So what
100%.
are your words? What are you going to say to yourself today?
That's
Yeah.
so good. I love that. And I think because, and too, like, how would we talk to ourselves as a child? Or would you ever talk to a child like that? I think too, that's really helpful too, of when we're talking about how do we talk to ourselves? I know I would never talk to little Elena the way I talk to big Elena now. Like, I'm like, what? And so I think that's very fun, not funny, like very, contradicting of like, oh my gosh, I would never say that, but then I do it to myself so that, so I think that's really in the truth of everything of how we speak, how we show up. And that's what I feel like you're so good about showing as well as where we're coming from.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't say that to our best friend or our relative, or we wouldn't say that to our own children if we have children. No, we wouldn't. So
No,
what gives you the right and permission to say it to yourself?
right.
No. Allow
No,
yourself the permission to say something nice to yourself.
I really
That's all
like
it
that.
is. It's plain and simple. Allow yourself permission.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's so beautiful. Um, well, I just so appreciate you being on here. My heart is so full. Liza is incredible. She's my P to my pod. I just, I can't wait to run around in costumes and meet in actual. We've never actually got to meet in person, but it's gonna happen so soon, and I can't wait to squeeze you and love on you. Yeah, yeah. So, everybody, I just wanted to thank you for being here. Thank you for being present. We are on this wonderful talk show of WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, and I'm Elana. And we are on here bi-weekly, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, raising your vibration, heart, body, mind, and soul. Thank you, everybody, so much for being here, being present. Please reach out to Liza. She's amazing and I love her. Thank you for being here. And I'm Elana. And if you need anything else, you know where to find me. I hope you have a beautiful day and we'll see you again soon. Bye.